Hello everybody and welcome back to the Tom Roberts Golf channel. I hope you are all having an absolutely fantastic day. We're back down here at the Hertfordshire on hole number 5. We're going to be playing 3 holes today. This is a 472 yard par 5 and it's SI 14. It's quite an easy one and we've got a good enough drive away to potentially attack the green into, but we'll have to wait and see until we get up there. Firstly, I've got to say a massive thank you to everyone who supported me on the first video, everyone who subscribed, everyone who liked that video, commented. It was just mind-blowing. For a first video on a brand new channel, the response was insane, so thank you so much. We are about 10 days into our challenge of getting from a 17.2 handicap down to a single digit handicap, and I've got some good news. You're gonna have to wait for my handicap reveal at the end. I've had literally the most busy 10 days with golf I think I've ever had. I've done 3 Absolute Bandits channel recordings, and not only that, but I've gone and practiced pretty much every day or done some sort of fitness every single day out of those 10. This 240 yard drive has left me in a bit of a predicament. I've got 225 to the green. If I was going to hit anything, it would have to be my 5 wood to get it there. The green is well protected by bunkers on the left side, and going right is very, very bad because you can end up spinning out into the rough. So I'm going to take a 9-iron, we're going to lay up, leave myself maybe 100 in, and just sort of see where we go from there. Couldn't ask for a better strike than that. That looks pretty good. Only problem is it too good? No, I've left it way short of the bunkers. We're absolutely fine. Good shot. So if you missed the first episode, go back and watch it. It'll give you all the benchmarking data to see where we started this journey. Our handicap, which was 17.2, our weight, our fitness, our flexibility, also how far we hit the clubs and stuff like that. So go back and watch it so you can see where we started. Now, I said last time that a lot of our practice is going to come down to data. Data is very, very important when it comes to sports. Golf is no exception. I have Arcos in my clubs, which is a GPS tracking device. So every time you hit a club, the phone picks it up, it marks your location, you go to the next one, you hit the next club, and it hears, and it has sensors in all the clubs, and it can tell you how far you hit them, where you're losing stroke compared to other handicappers and all of that sort of stuff. So we'll be looking at that in just a second. We have got 74 to this front pin, and that is a perfect sand wedge for me. We don't want to go anywhere past the pin because it's got a large ridge behind it, which will make the putt coming back down very, very tricky. So short is good, but not too short. We don't want to fat it or anything like that because we will end up in the bunker. Oh, I've hooked it left, very left. Okay, I mean, it would have been better to be up the slope than not on the green. We're just short to the left. So what's wonderful about Arcos is you can take your last 10, 15 rounds and use the data, find the averages and compare yourself to whatever handicap you want. So I've been comparing myself to a 9 handicapper, and you can see where the majority of my strokes are being lost on the screen. It is the approach shot and then the putting, which is, I'd say putting is probably low-hanging fruit. We can definitely get our putting a lot better, a lot quicker by spending some time on the putting greens and really working on our stroke. And then the approach shots, I think that's just going to be a little bit more difficult, but I've had some strides in the right direction with that. As you can see, I lose a lot of strokes to 9 handicappers at all distances from 50 yards and above. So 100 to 150, 150 to 200, 250 or 200 plus. They're just all areas I really, really need to improve. Of course, I've known that all week, so that's where I've been spending a lot of time practicing, especially on the putting green and on those mid to long irons. So what we've got here is quite a bad lie. We're just off the edge of the green. I've got a 9-iron in hand. I'm just going to bump and run this one, just like a putting stroke. Little bit chunky, not particularly sexy, but I guess it'll do the job. We have got a par putt, which potentially we could make. Now to me, this putt looks pretty much dead flat. We've lined it up pretty well. So now it's all about just getting a nice stroke on it and waiting for it to hit the flag and drop in. Give it to me. Yes, what a par. A little bit of a save. Not the most beautiful of pars, but a really good one. Through the first 4 holes, I was 4 over. I bogeyed everything, so it's actually quite nice to get a par. So what have I been up to so far this week? Well, day number 2 after our first video was recorded, I did a Bandits recording at Mid Hearts Golf Club. We played a scramble and we tried to break par. Go check that out if you want to. Then I did an hour of putting beforehand, so I got there early and was on the putting green just putting for an hour. really, really helped that day. I felt so much more confident with the putter in hand. And I did a bit of baby yoga with Eve, so my 10-month-old, I had her, and yeah, she got involved in the yoga, which was actually really advanced. I really, really struggled. Lifting up a baby whilst in like warrior pose is just an absolute joke. Day 3, I had an on-course lesson, which was really, really helpful with my instructor. He taught me loads of stuff, where to aim, basically how to manage the course, which was really, really useful information for me. We did a lot of work with my short game that day. I spent about an hour chipping 200 balls onto the chipping green. Not only that, but I tried to shallow my swing out as well. So I spent about an hour just trying to swing under an alignment stick to try and get myself coming from in to out whilst I'm swinging through with the golf club. And then I played a full 18 on the simulator at Torrey Pines, which was actually really cool because I shot my lowest ever. 6th hole here at Hertfordshire, our second of the day, is a par 3. It's about 125 yards to the middle of the green. We're just trying to get it on board. Oh, that is very bad. That might find bunker on the left-hand side. Hold. Oh, I've got a good kick. Hold, 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 hold. No, I think it's rolled into the bunker. That weekend, I managed to go and play a round at Sheerness Golf Club on the Isle of Sheppey with my boy Joe Creasy. You might know him already. He's got a YouTube channel, Golf One that is, called Joe the Pro. It's a very linksy course. I was kind of a little bit out of my depth. I wasn't rolling the putts well. I didn't play especially well, but I have got a very nice hole for you here. It was the only birdie I made throughout the round. It's a par 5, as you can see. We pipe the drive down the fairway, find a really nice spot. We've got a long way in, about 200 yards. We hit a 5-iron and it manages to go the majority of the way there. I actually had all of my irons spinning out right, like they were squeezing out right, and I aimed left of the green, and it was the first one of the day that actually just went dead straight, which is just absolutely bonkers. Anyway, we managed to get to the ball. We do a nice little chip onto the green and we roll the putt to make ourselves our first and only birdie of that round. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this is not where you want to leave yourself on this hole. This is absolutely dreadful. Pin not far away from me. I've got to open this thing up and get so much under the ball, get it splashed out just anywhere on the green is going to be a massive dub here, I think. So let's see if we can make that happen. That is actually as pretty much good as we can get, and we've got a relatively good chance of making par. Always make sure you rake the bunkers. There's nothing worse than when you find your ball in a footprint, so don't allow it to happen to other people because you couldn't be bothered to break the bunker yourself. So this is what we are left with for par. Unfortunately, we are putting across a slope, so there is going to be quite a lot of break from left to right on this one. I think walking out with a bogey here is a really, really good result, to be honest. So let's just see if we can give it a good knock, eh? Or maybe we walk away with a par. The putting practice is coming in clutch, guys. 2 pars on the bounce. That is massive. I did have a full day of work, which meant I couldn't get anything done one of those days. We had a Bandits recording at Pan's Hangar where we did a whole load of challenges. They'll be coming up on the Bandits channel soon. There's things like the forfeit cards returning. We've got, well, golf bingo. That should be a hit. So hopefully you guys are going to enjoy that. Check it out, link in the description. The next day, it was a huge day, really, really long day. So I ended up chipping like 200 balls again. We hit like 100 balls in the range. I hit 50 off the grass range. Then I played a full 18 where I shot 91. Unfortunately, I couldn't have the card submitted because I wasn't playing with anyone on that day. And then I did 45 minutes of putting when I had done the round as well. Our final hole of the day here is a pretty tricky par 4. It's dogleg to the right. It's not especially long. The main issue we're going to have here is trying to keep track of the bleeding ball in the sun. It is so bright where it's coming down. Everything slopes left to right on this fairway. So I will be trying to keep it up the left-hand side because otherwise you get cut off by the trees if you end up trickling down to the right. So I'm not going to go too heavy on this one, I don't think. I'm more about finding fairway here. I cannot see it at all. Trying to see if it pops up somewhere. Oh yeah, I saw it pop up. All right, I saw it pop up far down. It's going to be so close to the green, that one. Very, very lucky because If it had gone anywhere but on the fairway and I'd seen it bounce, we probably never would have found it. Day 9, I had Eve for the day, so we had to get inventive with how we were going to make this work. So what I did was during her nap at lunchtime, I did a half-hour hit session, which was pretty good, I won't lie, I felt very, very good after that. And then in the evening, once I'd managed to get her down, I went down into the garden, whacked a podcast on. I have a bin full of balls that I found on my rounds that I just keep, because then I can hit them. And yeah, I just spent a couple hours chipping them into the paddling pool. So just getting a bit inventive there. Now I had a couple of epic things happen this week. Number one, at the end of the recording session from the last video, on hole number 9 where I finished, I hit a wonderful drive. I bladed my 9-iron on a par 4. It was right on the fringe, this bladed 9-iron, and I managed to make a putt from 59 foot. That's what my Arcos said. I went and mapped out where the pin was and where the ball had been, and 59 foot from off the green. It was crazy. You can see the picture of where I hold it from here. Not only that, but a couple of other things that happened which were absolutely bonkers. I played a round at Nazing Golf Club with my friend Dan, like 7 a.m. wake up, and we were just messing about. We weren't really recording, I recorded it all, but I wasn't really doing it for score, so I was just enjoying myself, and I was playing absolutely dreadful. So probably good that I didn't hand a card in that day. But effectively, the craziest thing that happened was we were messing about, and we were about 250 yards out on a par, I think it was par 5, par 4 maybe, par 5 I think. And we both decided to take driver off deck. I've got footage of it here. We hit driver off deck, and unbelievably, Dan hit one, beautiful. Like, you don't hit driver off deck very well, very often, and he hit an absolute beauty. And then I went and did the same blooming thing, but what's the crazy part? I managed to blooming hit his ball that he had hit 250 yards up. Like, literally, the balls collided and they knocked apart and went apart from me. Oh, it's just absolutely unreal. Not only that, at Nazing there's this downhill par 4, which is like 260 yards. Just pulled out the driver, thought, you know what, I'll go for this. As you can see, we actually managed to drive it through and out the back of the green. It was the most ridiculous shot I think I've ever played. And then I three putted from like 15 foot for a par, which kind of killed the whole thing, but still pretty cool. If we start hitting the ball any further, I'm gonna have to stop using driver on this hole because we're getting nastily close to the water at the edge. We've still got a nasty shot here. We've got to go 46 yards to the flag over this ditch. There is no margin for error. We have to fully commit to this, or otherwise we're going to end up in there, which is just not the play. So that looks pretty good. This sun is killing me. A little bit long, but better long than short. This is not a particularly nice one, I'm not gonna lie. Just a little bit too long. We're going to just bump it with the 9-iron and see if we can get it to stop. It is on a bit of a downslope once we get over there though, so let's just see what we can do, eh? That looks pretty good to me. Go on, keep rolling. Just was looking for a little bit more on that downslope, but you know what? The alternative is miles past the hole, so we'll take that. Come on, Tom, let's finish this with a par. Oh, get in. Go on, guys. Mate, you need to smash the like for that. 3 holes, 3 pars. We go level through 3, and I didn't think we'd be able to beat last week's score either. Now, here's an issue we might run into occasionally. It's time to reveal my handicap, but I put in an unbelievable card during an Absolute Bandits round, which hasn't been released yet, so I can't tell you the score of what I did that day, unless you go stalk me on my EG if you want to. It's totally up to you. But basically, I had a great round, and as you can see, my handicap has gone from the 9 holes that I submitted earlier on this week, and then the 18 that I played on the Bandits channel. You can see my handicap has now dropped from 17.2 to 15.7. So that is good. That is a very good start. We've gone down 1.5 in the space of about 10 days. Obviously, I've played a lot this week. I won't be able to play as much next week because I'm going to the Isle of Wight on a family holiday. So don't expect a huge episode next week. I'm not even sure if I'll do an episode every week. It will just be roundups every so often when I fancy it, or when something has drastically changed. Now, one of the things that I said that I've been really struggling with at the start of this video was my approach game And what I will reveal is that I have managed to kind of figure out my problem. I was not rotating my body through the ball. I know it sounds simple, but I feel like I was getting to this self-perpetuating loop where I was scared to hit my irons, or especially my long irons, and they were coming out right because I wasn't committing to the shot. So what my swing thought is at the moment is just commit, because what's the worst going to happen? You literally, if you don't commit, then it's going to go worse for you. So that is my big swing thought at the moment. Commit, commit, commit to turning through the ball and absolutely whacking the thing. So that is where I'm at currently with the series. We'll look more in depth at all the other stuff that we're kind of like benchmarking in future weeks. But overall, a fantastic week. Thank you for all the support, guys. I'm going to be starting a TikTok, which I'm going to throw loads of content up onto. If you want to go check it out, be one of the first followers, I leave a link to it down in the description. Currently, I'm sticking with all my Capgun Tom's social media for everything else, so like Instagram and like Twitter, those sorts of things. If you want to reach out to me on those platforms, feel free. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe, turn on the notification bell to join me on this epic journey, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.